Okay, I got some good news for you all. I've been asked to break down um, my book, Five Creative Hacks to Overcome Fear and Pursue Your Dreams, as this book does bridge a lot of my line of work as a holistic mentor, as a facilitator, as that mentor who helps people who are struggling with taking action towards what's meant for them. So here is the summary of the book, and I'm going to explain briefly sorry, I'm just checking my hair in the middle of this recording here, just to make sure I look good for you all. Yeah. Okay, so here's the table of content. Chapter one, you want to understand what fear is and its impact. Chapter two, creative exercise one, visualization techniques. Chapter three, creative exercise two, fear journaling. Creative exercise three, role playing. Four, artistic expression, storytelling. For five, integrating this exercise into daily life. Eight is building a supportive community. Nine, celebrating progress and future aspirations. Okay, so when it comes to understanding fear and its impact, we dive deeper into the nature of fear. And essentially, you want to understand that fear is a fundamental human emotion intrinsically woven into the fabric of our experiences. And for a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs and creators, understanding the nature of fear is crucial to unlocking their potential. Fear can manifest in various forms, from paralyzing anxiety of failure to the nagging doubts of one's ability. It often acts as a barrier, preventing individuals from pursuing their dreams and ambitions. Yet, fear is not solely a negative force. It can also serve as a powerful motivator that pushes the individual to confront their limitations and seek growth beyond their comfort zone. So, for example, if you have reached a point in your life where you feel extremely unfulfilled, despite all the things you have tried, then this is a very clear sign to me that you haven't accomplished your dreams, but you have accomplished the dreams or the expectations of society. So you've been doing things to kind of like, oh, I've reached this, so I got this validation here, I've reached this, and I got this here. But that fulfillment comes from true alignment to your soul's desire. So that true drain of yours, that thing that you love doing, that you feel like, oh my gosh, I feel timeless. Like, if you ever felt those moments where time seems to disappear, this is the strongest indication that you are in flow, that you are in connection to your deepest nature. And this is your most powerful moment. But a lot of the times, people don't take action upon the things they really want to do because they've been conditioned for so many years to check in the box or to fulfill the expectations of the external world, right? So in this page here, you will find a lot of content. We are chapter one, the nature of fear, where it goes deeper as understanding, like as its core, fear is a response to perceived threats, both real and imagined. How it triggers a biological reaction that prepares the body to either confront or flee from danger. And again, once you have reached this state that I'm referring to, of like exhaustion and depression and pain, and you realize that all you have left is your soul, is fulfilling the deepest desires of your true essence, then things begins to change, because now fear becomes a powerful motivator to you in this journey. But you have to keep reading this entire chapter here to understand how you can use this force in your favor. So we're gonna move on to chapter two, because obviously I'm not gonna read the entire chapter to you here. We're just gonna go on the highlights of the book. So chapter 2, creative exercise 1, visualization techniques. Um, so visualization is definitely one of my favorite um, hacks to overcome fear. So what you want to do is you craft the perfect scenario before sometimes you engage with a task that you feel confronted or challenged by. And some people even call that prayer. But my tip to you is like spend a few minutes on the zone of like imagining, feeling, getting yourself pumped up to get into that task before you even get into it. So that I can guarantee to you that's going to reduce the amount of frustration, um, tediousness, or even boredom that comes from just like putting yourself in a state of mind of like, I gotta do something that I'm not feeling really like doing. And this is also saving yourself energy because that positivity wants to increase, but the negativity can also increase. You know, when you are at a low state, the tendency is for you to go lower unless you are moving yourself towards like going higher. So for a task that feels really challenging, that you don't really see anything exciting about it, what you want to visualize is not only the perfect scenario of that task being realized, but it's like the feelings and that it's bringing to you that are tied into the long-term goal or to the big picture. Um, so techniques for effective visualization. This one I can kind of go on. Visualization is a powerful technique that can transform fear into a catalyst for creativity and action. Effective visualization involves more than just imagining success. It requires a clear, structured approach to harness the mind's potential. One effective method is to create a detailed mental image of your goals, like I just said. By breaking down your aspirations into smaller, manageable tasks, you can reduce the feelings of overwhelm and fear, making your ambitions feel more attainable. This is just one of the techniques in terms of structure. And if you struggle with visualizing like the structure of it, of something, like if you feel like you're really bad at imagining, so for people who tells me like, Ra, I'm really bad at imagining and I can't really imagine. And then I just ask them like, and I can do this to you really quick. So think of a cat. Okay. Now, think of a cat chasing a ball. And obviously, they might say, but cats don't chase balls. This would be like the program response, you know, of your mind based on your mindset. If I say something to them that will immediately trigger like the mind, then I'll show them like, well, this is why you can't imagine because your mind is just full of limitations, full of beliefs that are tied into the thing that you want to imagine. But when I come with something that it's not really tied into any like mindset or something that people really haven't been programmed yet to say. So like, for example, think of a tree. Okay. So now think of you sitting underneath the tree. Just take a moment right now to like check with yourself if you had that thought of like, but I never sit underneath trees. Or if you were able to just visualize that. But you want to be able to like train your awareness to perceive what are the barriers for you to imagine, right? So if I say something easy now, that I mean, most of the words and things that are in the word is probably like already integrated to you at some point. So most of the times you will have elements in your visualization that would trigger all the things that are kind of like in your mind. They're like uh program at some point, you know, in your subconscious mind. But let's try this exercise and then I'll show you how visualizing in is easy. Okay, so think of yourself underneath that tree. And now, as you sit underneath the tree, just like try to see your entire body like laying underneath that tree. How are you at that place? How do you feel the most comfortable underneath that tree? What? How do I feel the most comfortable? Okay, so I'm pretending to be the person out. I'm pretending to be you. Underneath the tree, and I'm like just fully relaxed. My arms are leaning against my legs, and it feels a little boring because there's nothing. I'm like wondering what's next. Yeah, so this is when your mind is on the way in your imagination. Like when the mind is always asking what's next or try to control the next thing, you're not really imagining. So before you start to visualize, you always want to put yourself at a state of relaxation, at a state where you feel at ease, where you feel good within, where you feel relaxed, and when you tapped in your heart, because it's from this place here of heart that you begin to really imagine. So obviously I'm not going over the entire chapter. You got to read the book to really see what's there. But on chapter 3, we have another creative exercise, which is fear of journaling. So you understand the power of writing and how you can start using writing towards your highest good and really tapping into it on a daily basis. Role playing is something that I just did. Sometimes I will role play with myself, and why not? When it's something that is kind of tied into your business, into your success, when it's tied into your goals, and you don't have somebody else to really be with you there, why not? You can be that person for yourself. And this is also a great way to practice it, shifting perspectives. So that's pretty much it. There are more chapters here. I haven't gone over the 5 pr practices. Chapter 5, creative exercise for artistic expression. So you gotta learn how to express yourself, whether that is through painting, drawing, speaking, dancing, anything that allows your inner artist to come to life, even for a few minutes a day, even for uh, a couple days a week. You want to share your artistic journey as well. Why not? As a human being, I mean, you are a soul living this experience as a human, or you are a soul living a human experience. um, you need that feedback sometimes that kind of feels good, that feels the aspect of you that is fear driven, that needs to see and hear in order to believe. So you can share with a friend. Why not? Chapter 6, creative exercise 5, storytelling. So if you are a great storyteller, if you're not a great storyteller, but you are the kind of person who loves sharing your stories with others, instead of getting caught up in the narrative internally, you want to start to use that to your highest good and to the highest good of others. Start creating stories. This happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and this happened. Beginning, middle, and ending. That's all it takes to form a story. And then you want to listen to the story you've told yourself, you've written, you have completed, and you want to ask yourself, how do I feel about it? What feelings, emotions this evokes in my psychic, in my heart? Because then you can start to realize also, you know, how you can tell better stories to the world. And also the stories you tell yourself, those are very important, my friend. Um, Let me just see here if I have any questions. Okay. All right. So we're almost done here. Setting realistic goals is a crucial step for aspiring entrepreneurs and creators seeking to overcome fear and reconnect with their dreams. Um, I have told myself many times about being structured and setting goals. It's not an easy journey. It's always easier said than done. But what you want to tap into is just creating the habit every day of like, what are my 3 top goals for the day? Instead of having it in your mind, because whatever is in your mind can always be transformed and shifted and and that will affect how you manifest in the physical. So you want to keep a journal or a book or an app or an agenda where you can always go to, unless there's something urgent. And you got to make a deal with yourself for this agenda, for this book. Like, I will always follow what is here unless something happens. So do you understand why I'm saying this to you all? Because again, the deals you make with yourself can always change. Like how you feel, it's always going to change, influence your thoughts. So if you have your goals in your mind, if you have your to-do list in your mind, and you want to just rely on, I'm going to wake up and take action upon this, based on how you feel, you're going to change, you're going to fuck it up what's supposed to be there, and you're going to end up doing something else. And then what happens? You are inviting frustration to you. You are not in alignment to your truth. You're not reliable. You're not like trusting yourself because of these moments, right? Even if you say like, but I felt like so bad in that morning, I couldn't take action upon doing this. That's basically why I had to do something else. Well, this is when you make a fair deal with yourself, and if you have determined that you're gonna write down your goals and your to-do list and your list of tasks in an agenda. So now what you want to do is follow through every day. You're just going to dedicate X hour of your day just to respect what's written there. And then that's it. You can move on with your day. But just try this, like 1 hour of your day, 1 hour, 2 hours of your day dedicated to follow through what's written in that agenda. Here's the thing. You can always use the unless I don't feel like this, I won't do this. And then you can give yourself the conditions like, well, in case of an emergency and I really feel like at my worst, then I'm not moving towards this here. But I'm going to write on the back of the journal the date and why I didn't do this, and I'm going to sign it. Guys, I promise you, your confidence is going to boost up here. Your productivity is going to boost up here. Your sense of fulfillment is going to boost over here. Your alignment is going to go up here if you follow this quick tip. And obviously, you want to track your growth. So this is when you can also set a time aside to see where you are, celebrate how you're doing, and also make changes. So instead of making changes in your head, overthinkers or people who are always very tapped in, instead of just allowing whatever comes in, change what you're doing, you want to track your growth or the strategies of things you're doing intentionally. So no, intentionally is like you are at a party. So when you're tracking your growth intentionally, when you're measuring how you're doing and what you can change intentionally, you are literally sitting down at a desk, looking at what's happening, and you allowing thoughts about the situation to flow through, and then you change from that. But when you are with a friend and he just throws in an idea to you and you allow that to influence your business, your progress, your projects, that's basically you're not taking really action upon what's actually there. You're just having a conversation and trying to change something right there. That's not intentional. Intentional is like if you're having a conversation to someone about that particular project, that particular idea, in order to implement change in the moment. So many of you are never in the present moment because you are always overthinking about the things that are not actually present. So the key here to stay in alignment is thinking about the things that you are doing in the moment that it's needed. When it's not needed, then you can say, okay, thank you. Thank you, life. Not now. So this is it for this book. It's very explanatory. The last chapter is my favorite because it talks about supportive community. And this is when you join Rank community if you want to learn more about the community I'm building of aspiring entrepreneurs, creators, people who are on the same page for, you know, making a big dream come true. This is really important to kind of check in with these people on a weekly basis and share like what has worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, how you doing. So if you're interested on joining that community, you can send me a DM about Ren community, and I'll certainly bring you in to our weekly meetings. But that's it for now. I would love to thank you for your time, and I hope you download this book and take action upon all the strategies and tools that I have brought on to you in this book. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for joining, and peace and love.